Hey, good evening, everyone. Hope everyone had a good weekend. So it will be a quick meeting. I want to explain about few updates to the our one of the top bots, which is the PRISM bot. So, right, what is the reason to make these changes? One of the major reasons is right. We see that most of the members are trying to run the bots, even though we specified certain timings which are good, which are generally where there will be a lot of volume, where we can make nice profits. But few members are continue to run the bots throughout the day, and they are making profits and again losing it, right? Because market always runs for certain time. There will be a good momentum, and then again there will be consolidation. Again there will be momentum, consolidation. So whatever profits they are making during that momentum, again because of the consolidation or choppy phase, they are losing that again. So to make sure that everyone is making those profits, we made a few more changes so that everyone can protect their profits. So what are those changes, and how to how to import? Let me quickly explain. So again, right, if somebody is new, if you want to know how to remove an existing one, you have to go to tools. You have to click on remove Ninja Script Assembly, and whenever you click on remove Ninja Script Assembly, it will show the existing versions. So if you see Prism V4, you have to remove that. And then, for example, if you see, right, for example, let us say you see Prism V4, or right, you have to remove that version. If you are a completely new user, directly you can import the V5. But otherwise, you will remove the Prism V4. And then you have to again go to Tools, Import, Ninja Script add-on, and then wherever you saved the file, you have to import those files so that Prism V5 will be loaded into your system, right? That software will be installed into your machine. So once that is done, then you will basically close the existing charts, right? For example, you will say, okay, RC Prism V5, click on open, then that will get imported into your local machine, right? I already explained many times how to remove an existing version and then import a new version. So once you complete that, then what you have to do, you open new, and then you go to chart, and then you will say, right, for example, let us say we want to run it on NQ, and let's take 2 minutes, right? NQ 2 minutes. Order fell. Remove the break at end of the day. Say okay. Right now you have a new chart. For the NQ, you have NQ chart, right? Generally, what are the timings for NQ? If you see our right, generally NQ is from 10 a.m. EST to 11:30 a.m. EST, or 2:45 p.m. EST to 3:45 p.m. EST. These are the best timings. Whereas for crude oil, it is 9 p.m. EST to 11 p.m. EST, or 7 a.m. EST to 10:30 a.m. EST. These are generally the best timings. And generally, right, what we do whenever it is a range, right, whenever it is a low volume, generally we go with 1 minute or 2 minutes Heikenhashi with no stop loss and no target profit. And whenever there is a high volume, lot of volume or lot of trend, then we can increase little bit, right? For example, on Friday I said, like, yeah, it is looking bearish, there is a trend, so you can go with 3 minute Heikenhashi chart. So if we went with 2 minutes in the live session by mistake, even though in chat I mentioned 2 or 3, but 3 minutes would have given huge profits on Friday, right? Because it was trending, right? It was completely from 7:30 nearly until 10, until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Market was in a downtrend. It was completely, it was not in a range. It was just going down and down. So 3 minutes would have helped us. But anyway, right? Most of the time in the low volume hours, 2 minutes with no stop loss, no target will help us. Whenever there is a huge momentum is going on, then we need to move to 3 minutes or 5 minutes hike and issue with the target profit and stop loss. Let us, right now it is low volume hours. So let us take either crude oil or GC, even though, right, the time is still, we have 1 or 2 more hours for the real time, but just for, right, for a demo purpose, let me take, right, uh, let me take NQ just for example. So once we have the NQ chart, you will right click on the chart, you will say strategies. Once you have strategies, you will click on the strategies and you will select the latest Prism version, right? Right. Once you test it, we will give you spectrum. First, we want you to get comfortable with this one. Now, let us say if we have three different timings, right? For example, we have Europe hours, or we have US open hours, US close hours. Then what you can do is, for example, if I am in central, so all the values which you see by default, they are like the Eastern time, right? Eastern hours. So what we need to do is based on your time zone, because NinjaTrader will always read the time from your laptop. So based on your time zone, if I am in central, what I'll do, 3:30, I'll change it to 2:30, right? Just reduce by 1 hour. 4:30, I'll change it to 3:30. 9:45, that means I'll start at 8:45. 11:30, I'll change it to 10:30, right? Because Eastern Central is 1 hour behind, or 1 hour behind Eastern. So I'm just reducing everything by 1 hour, right? Instead of 14:45, I will change it to 13:45, because from 1:45 to 2:45, there will be again power hour. So like that, instead of, right, earlier we used to have only one session. Now what you can do, you can enable all the three sessions at one time. And then, right, especially if we are, most of the time we go with 2 minutes with no stop loss, no TP. And then you also have something called as max profit per day, right? For example, we have, right, if you see our Excel, right, our initial target, right, even though there is a high potential, we want to go slow, start with 200 to $300 per each ticker per day, and then we want to move to 400, 500 later. But let us, right, in the anticipation to make huge money, there are many members who are losing the money, right? They are making it, they are losing it to get more and more. But if we just target for $300 on NQ each day, or $200 on ES, $300 on CL, $200 on GC each and every day, right? For example, if you, in the first, let us say from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m., I make my $200 on crude oil, or I make $200 on GC, then I don't need to run it again on the next day or in the next session. Let us say I make from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. I am making $300 on NQ. I don't need to again try to run it on the next session. If I lose it in this session, then I'll run it. Otherwise, if I complete my target, then I will just, right, like that. Once you do it for 2 3 weeks, then you know that, okay, right, how much we can make uh, with NQ, right? Can we make, instead of 300, can I increase it to 400 now? Can I increase it to 500 now? Like that, you can slowly build upon. But when you start with a low risk, right, start with a small targets so that you can easily reach it, and you can see some profits, whether it is your individual account or your Apex account. You will be able to slowly build upon your accounts. Otherwise, if we go in aggressive mode, you try to, right, it makes 500 600, you still try to want to make more and more money. Suddenly there will be choppy zone or consolidation zone, all those profits will become zero, or sometimes becomes negative also. That's what is happening in most of the members, right? Otherwise, in every live session I am showing, like, okay, how I'm making 300 to 400 on each ticker and making $1,000 per day. So that's what, right, what you try to do is you will put this information here. So if you have only 2 sessions, then you will go here and you will just add only 2 sessions information. Or if you have 3 sessions, then you will enable all 3 sessions, right? So let us say now you are enabling these three sessions. So you don't even need to right again change now tomorrow morning again change it to the US Open again after US Open is done again you have to change the US close. Not like that. You can enable all the three sessions at one time. Maximum for any ticker we run is three sessions, right? This is the session which is the Europe Open. Generally, whenever Europe market opens, for first 1 hour, 1.5 hour, there will be good volume, right? This is like the power hour for the Europe. This is like the power hour for the US. This is like power hour, US closing hours. Before the close of the market, again, there will be a lot of volume. So because most of us will be sleeping during this time, what we thought is when you are watching it, if you see one or two stop loss, either you can change the time frame. That means on a 2 minute, if you are seeing that it is hitting stop loss, then immediately you know that, oh, right, I thought it will be range, but it is hitting stop loss. Then I should move it to 3 minutes. You can just change the time frame. That's it. You don't need to do anything else. But while sleeping, if something happens, we don't know, right? We may suddenly we thought it will be a range market, it will be slow during the midnight, but suddenly if it goes into a major trend or some news is there, suddenly NQ starts falling, right? The same thing will happen whatever happened on Friday, where market is falling but we are on a small time frame. So whenever there is a small pullback also, it will close the short again, open a long, close a short, open a long. That will happen, right? That's why for time being what we can do, let us disable it, right? Later once you get more and more confidence, you can also enable the Europe market. For now, just disable the Europe market, and then you enable the US Open, and also enable the US close. And then we have a target profit, right? For example, NQ, I want to make $300 per day, right? Whenever it reaches 300, it will basically disable the strategy for NQ, right? It will not again try to run and get into a choppy mode. You can say that, okay, if my this is like a trial stop loss, right? For example, you made $1,000 from 1,000, now it is going down by $300. Then you will make $700 for the day, right? It will automatically disable the bot once it reaches minus 300, right? Whenever there is a minus 300 on the day, if let us say on the first trade itself, if there is a loss, it will disable the bot. Or after making $500-600, there is a loss of minus $300, or right, let us say after making 300, again it is coming down, right? Yeah. If it already makes 300, bot will get disabled. Let us say it made only 250 and suddenly it is coming down by minus 300. That means now your net loss is minus 50, but from the top of the day, you made a loss of 300. So the bot will get disabled. So this is more like your trial stop, account level trial stop, or for the daily, from the top value, it went down by 300. So it will disable the bot for that particular ticker, right? For that particular ticker, if you have 2 or 3 sessions, or for example, in the first session itself, you made the required profit, your daily profit, then it won't again execute the trades in the second session, right? In that way, you are protecting your profits. You are again not getting into a, so first 1 or 2 weeks, just go with 200 or 300. Then you will see that, okay, every day you are able to keep that. Then increase it by $50, increase it by $100. Then again, after 2 weeks, you see that every day you are able to make 300, right? With NQ. Now increase it by another $50. Then next 1 week, you are making 350 every day with NQ. Then increase it to 400. Like that, you can slowly build upon instead of directly trying to run the bots throughout the day, right? And then everything is same, right? This is like the mandatory field. You have to definitely give these values. If you don't, if you put 0 or if you put it blank, the bot will not execute. But if you are defining that, okay, this is my daily plan, this is my trading plan, this is what I want to achieve, or this is what I want to maximum lose per day, then if it makes a profit, it will stop the trading. Or if you reach that loss for the day, it will stop the trading, right? You have a plan now. So start with whatever we have, right? You can say that, okay, NQ, Whenever you are opening a chart, defining a parameter, have $300 as a profit target. For ES, put 200 as a profit target. For CL, use 300. For GC, use 200. And you will be making 80% of the days, you will be making this profit in a month, right? Out of 20 trading days, minimum 15 to 16 trading days, you will be reaching this profit, right? But if we continue to, right, because you have control, even though after reaching it, or instead of 300, if you change it to 3000, right? Again, you may get into the same problem where again it will make some $1,000 profit, and again it may lose all the $1,000 profit. So start slow, right? All of you, right? When you all started, you wanted to make $100 per day. Now slowly, right? Some of you are seeing potential, and that is increasing. Oh, I want to make $200 per day. I want to make 300, 500, 600, and most of the members are not stopping the bots, right? Even though we explained many times, these are the best session timings. This is where we'll have volume. Between these times there can be a lot of choppiness, and if you see a stop loss, that means, right, these time frames are generally 1 minute, 2 minute, or generally for range days, right? Out of 5 days, generally we will see 3 days range days, or 4 days range days. One day it will be a trend day. Last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we made $1,000 per day. On Friday also we continued with 2 minutes, and then we started stop losses. Right at that time, if we'd have moved to 3 minutes, then 3 or 5 minutes would have given profits for the day, entire day. But if we either continue to run throughout the day, or just continue to keep even after hitting 1 or 2 stop loss, if we are not disabling it. But minimum what we did with the system, we are telling that, okay, once we reach this minus 300, stop the bot for the day, so that your accounts will not reach the stop loss or something, right? You are not just trying to, even though it is hitting the stop loss, you are not just keeping it enabled for the rest of the day. After hitting 1 or 2 losses, it will basically stop the bot for the day, so that next day again it might be a range day. Again, with your 2 minutes, you may whatever whatever loss you made on the previous day, again you can regain that. So if you start with a small trading plan like this, with this much profit, this much loss, right? For NQ, maybe 300 profit, and maybe start with a $500 stop loss or something, right? Because NQ, suddenly it can move 5-10 points very quickly. Suddenly it can drop. So just for NQ. For others, you can use a 1:1, $200 profit or $200 loss. For NQ or GC and ES, GC and CL, you can use 1:1. Just for NQ, because it is so volatile, you can put maybe 500 or just 600, like, right? Whenever it makes $300 profit, you will basically, the bot will get disabled. Otherwise, if it goes to 600, loss, right, which generally won't happen, because bot will immediately reverse whenever it sees a opposite direction, and it will, right, generally hit the target first before going to the, before hitting the stop loss. So like this, once you enable it, and you just enable it, so you will, now you have a trade plan, right? You are not just trading without a plan. You have a proper trade plan saying like, okay, I want to make this much profit this day. Or if because of some reason I expected a range day, but it is a trending day, if it goes down, then I want to close my trading for the day. I don't want to lose more than 400, 500 per day. In that way, even if you have one bad day, your accounts will not hit the stop loss. On the next day, again you will recover the losses, whatever losses you had on one bad day, right? Let me open up for the chat. Yeah, if you have any questions, right, let me show this. Everything is same. The major change we made is, earlier we had only one session timing. Now what we did is we kept all the 3 session timings. So you don't need to, right? Earlier what we used to do, before sleeping, we'll put the Europe time. Once you get up, you will put the US open. And after US open, again, you will delete that. And then you have to. So now you have all three session timings at one time. So you can put all the three, but for just for few days, even though this is a good time, right? Generally 2 to 3:30 central or 3 to 4:30 EST is a good time. But because you will be sleeping, and because if suddenly range market changes to trending market, or trending market changes to range market, because you will be sleeping, right? Even though you have a stop loss here, but still, if you are right awake, if you see that, or right, if I see that it is trending or something, I can alert saying that okay, right now, I see that there is a bullish, or I see there is a bearish. Accordingly you can make certain changes. But if we are sleeping and if we enable it, right, there is a risk, there is a little risk involved. So that's why just for few days disable the Europe time frame. You can just enable the, right, these are the settings for ES and Q, or RTY, YM, EMD. All these tickers, they follow these timings, right? These are the best slots sessions for them. And then, so instead of one session we have three sessions, and also we have a max profit per day or max loss per day. So we are going with a proper trade plan, saying like I want to make this much with this particular NQ. When you give ES, you may put 200 and minus 200. When you do EMD, you may put 200 minus 200. When you do RTY, you will say 200 minus 200. When you do GC, you may say 200 minus 200. When you do CL, you may say 300 minus 300. Only for NQ, you will put 300 and minus 600. That means I want to stop my account whenever it goes below minus 600 from the top value, or whenever it goes above 300 from the least value, or from the open, right? Open of the session, 8:45. Let us say you are opening it up from 8:45 to 8:55. Suddenly there is a 15-point move on NQ, and there is a long. That means already you reached your target. Most of the time, that's what happens. Within first 10-15 minutes, we'll be reaching our target. So you don't need to again worry and keep the bots enabled for entire day and lose all the gains what you're making. After a few days, right? Start, instead of 300, change it to 350, or 350 to 400. Slowly you can increase the daily target goals. But to start with, you have 300 for CL and NQ, and for all the other tickers you can use 200. And this is right, these are the timings for CL and GC. These are the timings for NQ, ES, EMD, RTY, YM. They all follow the same direction. So if we can follow this, then most of the days will be ending in profits. So right, this change will come for spectrum also, right? First we want you to test this one, and then we want you to test with the same changes will come for spectrum bot also. Is it fine for all tickers in one account with target and stop loss? No, what we suggest is better, right? Because I'll show you right how it works, and then you may understand. If all sessions are disabled, can this run? Yeah, if all sessions are disabled, it will run throughout the day. If you disable all the sessions, right? Let us just right, do a back test, right? Heikinashi back test, right, may show very high values. So it is not that we'll make that much profit, but just for you to understand how this, right, how the algo will look at this max profit per day. Let me show you something so that you will understand how this will work. Let me go to, right, for example, I want to backtest Prism. Let me also enable it, right? Just for example, let me enable session 1. session 2, session 3. I am enabling all the sessions. And then let me say, right, $500 as my target for NQ, and maybe minus 800 as my max loss per day with NQ. With others, I will generally use 1:1 ratio. So I want to use 2-minute Heikin-Ashi, and I want to see if I use this particular setting, how it would have run, right? So when you run this, right, I'm just running it for a week from 9:11 to 9:15. And we don't need to put any trading hours because already here we are giving, right, instead of a template, right, again creating templates for so many different things, here directly we are giving, okay, from 2:30 a.m. Central to 4 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Central to 10:30 a.m. Central, 1:45 p.m. to 2:45 p.m. Right, whenever my NQ reaches $500 profit, stop for the day. Or if I lose $800 from the top value, stop for the day. Right, run the 2-minute Heiken, because 2-minute is generally, right, if it is range or a slow trend, right, not a huge trend, but if it is slow trend, 2 minutes will work. But if there is a big trend, then we have to change to 3 or 5. If it is very choppy, then we will change it to 1. But 2 is like a balance between a range market and a very high trending market. So 3, right, if it is trending markets, 3 is the best one. If it is range markets, more than choppy, less than trend, 2 is best. So let us, we are right, that's why generally we use 2-minute as the default value. So when you run this, right, now let us see. So what is your start session? 2:30, which is the Europe power hour, Europe opening hours. So it took a trade at 2:50 a.m. and then it closed the trade at 3:22 a.m. Right? It took a order filled. So it took a short position, right? It RC sell, and then it made a profit of 205. Then next 3:22, again it took a long position. 3:26, it made another $30. So 205 plus 30 is 235. And then there was a sell, but there was a loss. So 235 became $180. Then again there was a small loss. 180 became 175. Right? And then you have another short position, and then you made $390. So it will not exactly stop at 500, right? Even though your target is 500, it will wait until that signal is closed. That means if there is a sell, then at the end of the sell signal, it will see, okay, am I above my target profit? Okay, right, I am above 500. So then on 9/11, it just executed in the session 1. It won't take any more trades in session 2 or session 3 because it reached the target, whatever our daily target profit, it reached within the first session itself. So on 9/11, you won't see any more trades between 9 to 10:30 or 1:45 to 2:45. You won't see any more trades. Now, again, next day started 9/12, right? So for day 1, you closed with $565 profit. You come right, you reached above 500, and at the end of the sell signal, it see that, okay, earlier it was 175, but this particular signal, it made good gain. So now it is at 565. So it closed, right? It disabled the bot. Don't do any more trades for NQ on this September 11th. Then 9/12 started, and then again it started at 2:42, right? Even though session is at 2:30, it is waiting for a good signal, and it got a good signal at 2:42 a.m. It made $20. Then 250 to 322, another $180. Then 322, 334, another $10, another $60. Then there was a loss of 45. So from what was the last day's close is 565. From 565 plus, it should cross 565 plus 500, that is 1065. Then it will stop for the day. You can see here 955, and then another buy. Now 1160. That means 500 plus 565, 1065. It crossed it. Then immediately at 1:54 p.m. it won't run any more trades after 1:54 p.m. because it reached the target. From 565, it crossed above $500 for the day. So that's it. The bot will get disabled. Again, it started trades on 9:13. 9:13 again, it made some profits. So whenever either it crosses 500 for the day, the bot will get disabled. Or from the top of the value, if it goes below 800, it will the bot will get disabled. Right? Let us take some simple example so you will understand. Let's say minus 250. So same thing, 205, 235. Then again there was a loss. Then it made from 175, it made a 390 profit, so 565. So it got closed. So whenever from the highest value on the day, if it loses more than $250, the bot will get disabled. So like that, basically it will look for whatever value you give, what is the max profit per day, what is the max loss per day you want to achieve from the bot. Whenever it crosses the max profit, it will disable the bot for that particular ticker only, not the entire, for not for all the four ticker. If you are using for NQ, ES, CL, and GC, it will not disable all the four. But for NQ, you reached your target, right? It is like now you can come here and say, okay, now on 18th, I reached my target. The bot will get disabled automatically. Whenever you complete your 300 profit, your bot is disabled. Now same thing, right? For GC also, it will start looking, right? Whenever whatever value you are giving, okay, $200 is my profit or maximum $200 is my loss for the day which I want to achieve. Whenever you cross $200, bot will basically disable and will not take any more trades. Even though you might have enabled 3 sessions, if your target is achieved in the first session, it will not take any trades in the second or third sessions. That's what, right? That will keep us to be disciplined instead of trying to achieve more and more, right? Once you do this for a week or two, once you see that, oh, NQ is giving me on average giving me 500, $600, right? Instead of 250, let me put 350 and achieve that 350 per day and then increase it to 450, right? You can also watch how is the market and how much you are making. Slowly you can increase your target profit, max profit per day, max loss per day. But initially, right, what you want to achieve, if you are investing some $500, if you are making $2,000 per month also, it is good start, right? Instead of trying to make $20,000 directly, first make $2,000 in a month. You are investing 500 or 600. If you are making three times of that, that is a good start. Maybe in second month, increase your target from three to, right, maybe $5,000 to $6,000 per month. Then increase it to $8,000. Like that, slowly increase it rather than trying to achieve 20 and losing all this 3,000 also. Right? Start with a low risk. So when you are giving a smaller targets, 250, 300, like that, you will be able to easily achieve them. Otherwise, you try to achieve so much, you will be losing this 250, 200, and you are unnecessarily blowing the accounts. Right? That's what is happening with majority subscribers. Right. Yeah. This will definitely help you to save your accounts, and also, right, your EA accounts will anyway you need 7 days. Right. You also need that consistency with PA also. Right. Don't be in a hurry to, right, with some shortcuts or something or some event. If you even complete your EA accounts, when it comes to PA, again you will be in the same problem. You will lose your PA accounts rather than you build it with a proper discipline. You build it slow. Every day 300, 300, 300. Within 1 week, 10 days, you will cross your 3,000 target. Now you know the logic. you can use the same system, same logic in the PA and make that 200 per day. Or instead of one NQ, use two MNQs, four MNQs. Now you know that, oh, this timing is working good. This time I consistently I'm making 200 to $50. Now with MNQ, if you make 100, $150 every day on a PA account, and if you have 10 PA accounts, that is $1,000 per day. Right? This will help you. Uh, right? Yeah. Once you enable it, basically it will save those timings. Right? Once you put your strategy, once you right enable this strategies, then basically they will get saved. Right? You don't need to modify them every time. You can right for entire week you can have them with that particular setting. So that's why start with small targets and you will be able to achieve them easily. Right? If we go with I want to make $2,000 with NQ in one day or $1,000 with ES, you might be making $600-700 and again it may go to zero or it may also become negative. Yeah, let me look at. So if I am starting my account at 2000 and if my daily target is 200, if I am at 2150 at one point, and if you lose 200 from my daily high, so my max loss for the day is 2050, 2150. So if your target profit is 200 per the day and your target loss is also 200, then yeah, from 2150, if it loses 200, that will become 1950. That means your max loss for the day is only $50. So your account, you are not, that means the trend got reversed or something happened and you are not losing your entire account just after $200. Basically that's what, right, that's what uh, generally any trader will do. Professional trader, if he sees one or two trades losing, then he will stop for the day and he will just take a rest for the day because something his logic or his analysis is not working. He will stop and he will protect the losses or he will minimize the losses. But if we continue to trade on the day, we may be making more and more losses. So yeah, definitely this max profit or max loss will help you to not to overtrade. No, if you want, you can continue with V4, right? It is not mandatory that you have to move to V5. But if you like V4, you are making consistent gains, you have your own system, already you have something set, it is working good, then yeah, you can continue with V4. But if you are not able to see the profits like many others, you are not able to maintain the discipline, then yeah, V5 will help you. So you can enable multiple sessions at one time. You can have a max profit per day or max loss for the day for each ticker. So you can slowly start building your accounts or your individual accounts or your Apex accounts, whatever it is. But yeah, if you want to continue with an old version, you can also continue that. Right. Yeah. If you follow this, definitely you will, right? Within 10 days, you will complete an evaluation, right? Just what you need is 200 to 250 per day without taking much risk. So out of 5 days, 4 days, you will make profits. One day, even if you lose, you are only losing 200 or 300. So other 600 is your profit. So even though you disable a strategy in the middle, it will see that, right? It will calculate for the entire day, right? It will see what is the value when it started and what is the value now. So it will calculate for entire 24 hours. Based on that, it will do the calculations for max profit or max loss. Right. This target profit is per ticker per account. So if you have a different account, yeah, it will have a different target. So if you are using NQ on two different accounts, so on account one, you will make $300. On account two, you will make $300. If instrument falls down suddenly by 10 or 20 points, yeah, right. As I mentioned, if right as you saw in the back testing, right, it will not exactly stop at $300 profit, right? If it will wait, if it is in a buy, even if it crosses 300, it will wait until that end of the buy, and then it will see that okay, for today I crossed my $300 profit, so it will stop trading. But when it is not like a stop loss where it will see okay, 300 done, okay, stop at the middle of the, because all there is a buy or sell is going on, that means still there is a potential it will continue in the trade. In the same way, even for stop loss also, it may not exactly stop at 600, it may go another 10-20 dollars, but generally, right, in one trade 600 within 1 or 2 minutes is generally right, not a possible scenario, unless again there might be sudden surprise news or something where that with NQ we have that risk. But with ES or GCCL, sudden within that 1 or 2 minute candle, losing that much is generally it won't happen other than NQ. That's why for NQ we are giving a more buffer, so that, because if it is 300, it may quickly go down and again go up. No, you can put the timings in any order, right? It doesn't need to be that only session one should be the first hours and session two should be second hours. So, right, they can be, it will only look whether whatever time is mentioned as session. If the time is between that, then it will start, right? If it is 10 a.m. EST, it will watch whenever there is a new alert is coming, it will see is right, what is the time now, is it 10 a.m. to 11:30, or is it 2:45 to 3:45, then it will take an order in your account. If that is not there, then it will not take an order. Or if CL, if there is an order, it will see whether is the time now between 9 p.m. EST to 11 p.m. EST, or 7 a.m. EST to 10:30 a.m. EST, then it will take a trade. If not, it will not take a trade. So yeah, the right, these are the timings we will follow, and these are the targets we will follow. And then let us see, let us track every day, right? Are we, by using these timings and with these targets, can we achieve that? Once we achieve for 1 or 2 weeks, then let us increase by another $100, NQ 400, ES 300, CL 400, and then after another 2 weeks we can increase another 100. But let us slowly start, so you can complete your ES. Right, you won't be blowing the EA accounts, or right, with individual accounts you have, right, you don't have this account level trial stop loss or unrealized gains becoming unrealized losses or realized losses, such type of issues. But with Apex accounts you need to be more careful, because even though NQ suddenly goes up and suddenly drops, that unrealized gain also is treated as, because when it went up you did not take the profit, when it went up above $300 you did not take it, now again there is a consolidation and it is coming down. That means you did not do your duty as a trader by taking those unrealized gains. You waited for more and more profits, now it is coming down, so that will be counted as your right, your loss. Even though it is not a realized loss, but that unrealized profit also you did not take it. When it went up so high, you were expecting to go more and more, you did not close the trade. So that is the problem with Apex. With individual accounts, even though it may go down, go up, again next day it may go up. So you don't have much issue, right? You can easily make these profits. With Apex, because they have that different rules too, because right, if you are, if you want to give some 50,000, 100,000, or 1 million, 6 million to someone, they want to make sure you will increase their money, right? They don't want to give, right? For example, Vishalji got $6 million funded account. They don't want to give 6 million just like that, right? Even though they have a 2,500 trial stop loss on 20 accounts, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000 is also like 100,000 loss if somebody just without a proper discipline, if they if he takes a loss. That's why they want to make sure, right, whether you have the discipline, whether you can take the trades and close, right, take the profits, daily profits, consistent profits. They are making sure you have all those qualities. Then, right, this will also keep you to be, because Apex also has that 30% consistent rule, right? They have a consistency. They don't want one day you make 95% of the profit and next 1 month, 29 days you are making $10, $10, $5, right? They also want to make sure maximum profit on any day should be 30%. You cannot do 95% on a CPI day and then only, right? With EA accounts, it is okay. But with PA, they want to make sure you are not just, right, making profits by luck, or you are not taking opposite trades. On one, you are taking NQ short, on one, you are taking NQ long. On two PA accounts, one account will be blown up, but other account you may make a lot of profit, right? For you, your loss is only 50 or 60 or maximum 140 on that PA account which you lost. But on the other, you might have made $3,000, $4,000. So they don't want to have traders who will play with the system or who will try to just cheat the system, right? They want to make sure you are consistent, you have discipline, you are maintaining proper, and these things will help you to have that discipline and consistency, right? Having a stop loss for the day, having a stop loss, what is the max profit you can make for the day, with different sessions where we have a lot of volume, where, right, with lot of back testing, lot of analysis, right? Nobody will share all this information, right? But we are doing all the back testing, right? That's where I'm suggesting everyone to explore, because we don't want all 200-300 members to just enter and exit on exact same timings, right? When you explore more tickers, we don't want everybody, right? In EA, it is okay, right? They don't worry much. When we are doing on EA, if all of us are doing only these four tickers, all of us are entering at this time, Apex or no prop account will worry much. But when we are doing on PS, if all of us enter exactly at 10 a.m., 10:01 a.m., all of us are ending our session by 11:30 a.m., right? They treat like, oh, there is some 100% automation going on. That's where, right, just try to identify what are the tickers other than these four, what else we can do. Can we make some money on the currencies? Can we use the same strategies on some other tickers? And so that each one will run some different tickers. Or if I start at 10 a.m., you start at 10:05, somebody, right, takes a trade in simulation and then they enter into the actual PA account. Like that, there are so many different ways we can make profits. But for that, you need to take some time to explore, and and uh, and in a way that it should not be treated as, okay, everybody has a certain timings, everybody has a checkbox. For everyone, it takes a trade at 10 or 10:01 or 10:02, and for everyone, it closes the session at 11:30, right? That may fall under 100% automation. So that's what we want to have, these parameters, everything, so that everyone is also using some of their intelligence, some are, right? It is just 5 to 10%. What you have to do, just either put these parameter, keeping these check boxes. And also, if you see that, oh, it is hitting stop loss, that means I thought it is range, but it is trending, let me increase from 2 to 3. Oh, I kept it 3, but it is in a range. It is not just going down, it is going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Okay, let me change it to 2 minutes. Right? That's it. You are not taking buy, sell, sitting before the system. You have to just enable parameters or change the time frame. Enable the parameters based on, okay, where there can be high volumes, where there can be, right, a non-choppy environment. Europe open, US open, US close. These are the best periods for NQ, ES, RTY, YM, EMD, all those tickers. Or for crude oil and gold, generally India open, right? Whenever India opens, right, 9 p.m. EST to 11 p.m. EST, that is where people will buy a lot of gold. Gold can move up or down, right? That is where crude oil can move, right? US market generally focuses on NQ and ES. In India market or Asia market, and also Europe market, they focus more on crude oil and gold. So we have different timings for different tickers, and if we follow them, And if we have this daily target or daily max loss, right, we will be in much better shape, much in a the profitable situation, rather than trying to run them throughout the day or waiting for more and more, right? Not satisfied with 200 300 per day, and we want to, because bot is there anyway, we are not stressing out. We are let the bot run and throughout the day and make us profits, right? It is not a ATM machine or something. And market is like that. Whenever it runs for 1 hour, next 1 2 hours it will be in consolidation, again it will run for 1 hour, again 1 2 hours it is in. So the the structure of market is, it will not continue unless there is a major bad news or good news. It will not continuously go up or go down. It will go for some time, it will take rest, again it will go up or down. After certain 3 or 4 levels, again it will start reversing. So that's why, right, if we follow, instead of trying to go with big targets, if we keep small targets, every day make $200, at the end of the month you will have 3,000 4,000 as a profit. But if we target for $1,000 every day, at the end of the day we'll have minus 200 each day, right? Because we are trying to achieve something which uh, market, right? That is how market or a casino is, where it will give you and it will take everything back, right? If we don't know when to stop, it will basically take everything back and also more from you. But if we know when to stop, if we can have a that emotional discipline or a control on, it's okay, we may lose some opportunities. There might be some days where you might have just made 300, but it might have given 1,000. That's okay, but making 300 is better than losing 300 or 400. That's what, if we all remember, we can easily make those gains. Profit loss is calculated from 12 a.m. to, yeah, from 12 a.m. 24-hour time format. Yeah, this week will be range, right? Because we have this FOMC meeting minutes are there. It will be range. So that's why generally we'll stick with our 2 minute Heikinashi most of the time, unless after FOMC meeting or if there is some major minutes, we'll increase it to 3 minutes. But otherwise, we will be in 2 minute with no TP and no stop loss. Right. If you can, right, one thing is, you can disable the sessions, but you cannot disable these values. If you disable the max target or max profit or max loss, your strategy will not run, because again you will do the same mistake. But if you want your bot to run throughout the day, which I don't recommend, right? Otherwise, again you will be making the same mistake. But if you have these values, your bot will continue to run, right? And you don't need to enter one or two or three, right? If you want only one session per day, you can also just select whichever time frame you want, and you can run only during that session. But these values are mandatory, right? You don't need to put any values. If you want to disable all the 3 sessions, then it will run across the day, and whenever it sees 300, but the chances are it will increase 300, and again it will lose 300. It will become a zero sum game. But if you use these timings where there is a good volume, then you can, right, whenever there is a volume, there is a move. Whenever there is a big move up or down, our bots will give profits. Whenever there is no volume, bots will be in choppy, or market will be choppy. Bots will be taking a buy at the top, taking a sell at the low, right? So make sure you use the session parameters, right? They are given for a reason, so that you are trading in the right time. Again, you don't need to manually sit, right? You enable them right now, and you can just leave them like this. If the session gets over and if the max profit or loss is not hit, again, right, it won't. If the session, for example, right, I enabled these 3 sessions. In this session, it made only $100 profit. but our target is 300. So it will again start at 945 and it will continue to run. Let us say it made another $100. Again, it will start at 245. Let us say it did not meet 300. It will execute across the session, right? And then again, it will start tomorrow. So, but if it hits the $300 target within first session, it won't execute any trades in session 2 or session 3. Or if it hits the $300 loss in session 1, it won't again enable, it won't take trades in session 2 or session 3. But if still the target is not reached, then it will continue to execute in the next sessions. Even in session 3 also, if it doesn't complete, that's fine. At the end of the session, it will stop. And then again, next day, it will try to achieve that whatever target profit we have given. Right. Yeah. Once you enable it, they are enabled for all the days. You don't need to come and enable each and every day. Once you set them up, save it, your strategy will be right. Those values will be enabled for all the days. But the bot will not run at the end of two, right? For example, out of 300, it made only 250. It will not run after 245 to achieve the additional $50 because we know that that is the choppy time zone. After 245 or 3, again, market will be completely choppy. Whatever 250 you made, again, you may lose that if you continue to run from 3 central to 4 central. Or there will be sudden spikes, right? From 3 to 315, there will be sudden spikes and uh, your accounts might get blown up because of the sudden spikes, right? Because again, you remember Apex is not only looking at realized gains, it is also looking at unrealized gains. Suddenly there is a big spike, 200-point spike. You did not close the trade or you did not open the trade, but there is an unrealized gain and suddenly it went down. That means they consider that, oh, you did not book the profits. It gave $2,000 profit. You did not book it. So that means you are so greedy to make more than that much, right? That's how they are calculating or they calculate the trail stop loss. It is not just on the realized gains; it is also on the unrealized gains. They look, you had an opportunity to complete $3,000 profit, but you did not book it. Now market is coming down, so that's why, right? With Apex, you need to be a lot more disciplined, a lot of patience, lot of right, lot of discipline with a daily trade plan. Without that, if we just continue to run like a retail trader, we'll be just blowing our EA accounts. But if you have a consistent plan, like 200, 300 per day, then you will be easily able to complete your EA accounts one after other. And then once you complete EA, just instead of one mini, now use 2 micros, 3 micros, 4 micros, using the same strategy. Now after 1 or 2 weeks, you also gain confidence that, oh, this 300 value is working every day. I'm easily able to make $300. Right now, let me, instead of a mini, let me run with a 4 micros, 5 micros on your PA account. You want to be more conservative with PA, right? Because EA, even if you lose, it is only $30 loss. With a PA account, if you lose, right, you might be paying a lifetime fee of 140 or 150 for PA, so that you don't need to again pay every month. You are losing 150, and also again you have to start from EA. Again, you have to build $3,000. Again, you are losing. So you need to be more conservative. Go more slow. Instead of 300, maybe only do right 150 or 200, or just do with micros. If you run a micro, even throughout the day, you will be green at the end of the day with MNQ, right? When you are using with EAs or PAs. So by default, the timings are in EST, right? Whenever you enable the bot, by default, the time which you see is in EST. You have to change them to CST or PST based on your time zone. For PST time zone, basically you will reduce it by 3 hours, right? For example, if you have 3:30, right, or let us say 9:45, you will change it to 6:45. 11:30, you will change it to 8:30. 3:30, you will change it to 12:30. 4:30, you will change it to 1:30. Right? Basically, PST is 3 hours behind EST. So whatever you see by default, reduce them by 3. If you are CST, reduce by 1. If you are EST, just you can keep the default settings. Whatever you see, just you can keep them. Again, right, you have it in the Excel. So you can just, right, whatever is by default, just check whether they are matching with whatever the time you have here. If not, adjust it in this way, so that here it is talking about EST time zone. You need to make sure your time is right based on your time zone. You have to change these values. So right, again, for example, let us say now I want to go to strategies, and I want to, right, let me disable this, and I want to put 7 is like 19 hours. Let me put, so for example, I want to run from 19 to 20 hours. That means 7 to 8 central, because I am in central time zone. I am disabling the other two. And let me put like, I want to, whenever I make $200, I want to close, or whenever I have a 300 stop loss, I want to close. Let me take this on SIM 101 enabled, right? And then everything else I'm keeping the same thing. So now you can see that it is which account you are taking, SIM 101. The strategy you enabled at 7:09 central. The start time is 7, the end time is 8. So after waiting for 2 candles, it may take a long position. Right? Generally, this is not the time for NQ, but just I took this as an example so you can understand how whenever it meets the $200 profit, it will basically get disabled. The strategy automatically gets disabled. So and even can we re-enable the strategy after? No, even you re-enable the strategy, it looks that already you reached the daily profit, so it will right. Otherwise, we will do the same mistake, right? You reached your 300, again you want to make another 300, again you may lose the 300 which you reached, right? That's why start slow. Once you make $300 for the first 1 week, increase it to 350, increase it to 400, increase it to slowly move it. Otherwise, you will make 300 and again you will re-enable. Again you will make 300, again you will enable, and at that time you may lose the profits again. Yes, if you have 5 or 6 PA accounts, you can use to NQ definitely, right? Unless there is uh, a major event or major bad news or something, NQ will give more profits. If NQ gives $200 profit, ES, RTY, YM, all these will give $100 profit. NQ can make double the profits or double the losses. So in that way, if you right? If you want to make gains, NQ is definitely a good ticker, especially when there are no events around. When there are events or earnings, suddenly NQ may jump 100 points up, 100 points down within a minute, within a few seconds. Right. Basically, these zones are to identify, right? This is like a band. This is like the upper band. This is like the lower band. W is the middle band. If you see a big range, that means you have a lot of volume. If you see a small, right, suddenly the band size is increasing. That's why I enabled NQ. Here, it was very small, right? Where it is like choppy. That means if buyers and sellers are equal, it creates a choppy zone. When you have more buyers, now you have a big band size and you have more green candles. Yeah, Edkundala, please go ahead.
The question is now, yeah, I think posted in the chart also. When you have this choppiness, like when we do the back testing, we see that there is a 6 consecutive ways or 7 consecutive times there is a possibility that you go into loss. Of course, there is a 9, 10 consecutive profits also there. Like you're hitting a stop loss, not hit a stop loss, like a losses, like a take a trade and go back, right?
Right.
So in that situation, is it not possible to identify? One is the best picture. I agree with you, the 300, 200, that I liked it very much. Is there any other way, like even in this case, if you are getting a loss of last 3 trades or last 2 trades, can we disable the bot, or is there any way to make it that way? Like last previous 3 trades or 2 trades are giving a losses, right? In that case, can we disable?
No, again, right? The reason
Mm-hmm.
why we are having certain sessions is generally the chances of making loss is very minimal during, because generally there will be volume during
Mm-hmm.
these timings.
Right.
Right, if we enable in some other time, definitely it can be choppy, but most of the
Okay.
time if you enable in the power hours, right, whether Europe power hour or US power hours, you will have a big volume move upside or big downside.
Hmm. So here you are saying that the continuous, that what do you call, losses happen, sequential losses, right? In our trade analysis, it says that there's something called
Right.
sequential losses
Mhm.
are very rarely you're saying, like a 2, 3
Rare, very
consecutive
rare,
losses.
yeah, right, yeah, you can, that's what, right, what you can
Mm-hmm.
do is instead of back testing, you can also go to, right, you right click data series. Instead of 3 days, you can also put like, okay, you want to see 30 days of data,
Okay. Okay.
right? And then
Mm-hmm.
you apply, and then you just go to these timings, right?
Okay.
Just go,
Yeah.
okay,
This time zone.
yeah,
Yeah.
this time, and see like, okay, how was the movement on the day? Was it
Mm-hmm.
choppy or is it a big upside or big downside? Then you
Mm-hmm.
will see that 90% of the time you will be making profits
Okay.
in those timings.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why, right? This, but if we continue to run throughout the day, we'll make a big move, and again this consolidation.
Okay. Okay.
Whatever we made here, we lost here if we continue to run.
Yeah. So in your, that means in your software, is there an option like learning from the previous trade? Is that something generally
That's what,
happens?
right? That's what the 2 candles, 3 candles that bot is trying to do. It
Mm-hmm.
calculates the overall market, whether it is going up, going down. That's why it suddenly changes the direction. Whenever it sees that market is, it is looking at all the previous candles, and then
Mm-hmm.
it identifies, is it a bullish trend, bearish trend. It will suddenly immediately reverse, but it
Okay.
will wait for
Okay.
end of the candle. It will not
End of
just
the
keep,
candle.
yeah. That's why if we have a range market, we use a small time frame where it says, okay, within 1 minute, 2 minutes. If it says range market means up and down, up and down.
Up and
You
down.
don't want to wait for 5 minutes, 10 minutes to take the decision, right? If you
Okay.
wait for
Okay.
5 minutes, already it might have went up again coming down. So in range markets, we look at small time frames. Whereas if it is a trending market, you don't want to just check every 1 minute to see
Right.
whether I should go up or down, right? Because trend means it may go for next to 2 hours, 3 hours, it may go down or it may go up. At
Right.
that time, you don't want to unnecessarily look at small time and take a decision to go opposite side.
Here, what I observe, one more thing is in the during the last Friday, where uh, actually the Prism as well as Spectrum, both of them, at the same time frame. But what happened is a Prism took a multiple trades of the losses, but Spectrum did not take the multiple trades. Maybe I don't know. Spectrum has some additional parameters. I don't know which is that,
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's why we have two different algos, right? So that is the
uh,
advantage, or otherwise we can just have one algo and give it.
okay, my idea was, it's just idea. I don't know. Its implementation is, the more possibility or not. So the thing is, if you have multiple trades having going the same losses like this, right? Can we consider like additional checking the data more? That means I need to check. Hey, last three trades are having a losses. That means up and down losses, range market. So now I should not take a fourth one as a trade. I have to look for one more additional parameter, strong parameter. Can I take or not? Is that something make it a stronger bot at the time? I
Yeah,
know it's not possible to change the timing, but I'm just thinking next trade should have a strong, like example, you are considering 10 parameters, input parameters to take a trade. You might have a lot of parameters. Example, 10 parameters. Now, last three trades are going a choppy. Then, now fourth trade, I have to take a not 10 parameters. I need to consider some more additional strong parameters. That will come into the picture only when there is a choppiness. If not, I don't require to consider that another additional parameters. I
yeah.
don't know.
Again, everything
Mm,
changes based
mm.
on time frame, right? Same, right? If
Okay.
somebody used 3 minutes on Friday, they made lot of gains. Somebody used five
Okay.
minutes, they made lot of gains. If somebody used 2 minutes, so based on the time frame, your rules might change, or based on the time frame, the direction, the profit and loss might change. So we cannot have a generic rule saying
Mhm,
like,
mhm.
okay, if right, it might be a consolidation, right? It might be end of the
Right.
consolidation. Last three trades went lost, but now again there might be a trend after 10-15 minutes of consolidation. It again there will be a move, right? For example, here you can see there was a consolidation. There might be two
Mhm.
or three trades which went into loss, but immediately
Mhm.
you had a big move up.
Right.
Right, again there will be
Yeah.
consolidation for some time now, right? Once you have a big move again, so you cannot say that, oh, because these three trades are lost, let
Mhm.
me stop, or let me not take any more positions, or let me uh, so that's why we can go with, okay, once I make some $200 loss, okay, that's it, right? Maybe I expected a range day, but it is a trend day, so that's fine, right? Tomorrow I'll make
That's fine. Yeah.
in
I
that.
know that I like it. That feature I like it. No doubt in that. Actually, that's where you make a discipline. Yeah, I think. But no, the question on the Friday you're saying that if you're someone has made a 3 minutes or 5 minutes made a huge gains, but when you're in range, you have to move to the lesser time frame. That's what my understanding. So in
but
that case,
but
even if a lesser time frame, you should make more less money, but you should make a money. You should not be in the losses.
Right. When you are in a range, yeah, you will reduce your time frame. When you are in a
Mhm.
trend, right? On the day it was nearly until 1:30, it was going
It
just
was
fine.
very good. Yeah. Yeah, it was very good. Yeah, I saw that.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
right.
No problem.
Just
Thank you.
yeah, we all get it by experience. So sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, once you watch that, right? Once you note that, oh, on this Friday it was a trend, but I was in 2 minutes, I lost. Next time, whenever you have a big movement, right? Or even 7:30 to 8:30, there was a big move. So
Yeah.
even we, right, our normal time starts at 8:45, but by the time there was a huge move. So then there was some consolidation, or there was some choppiness. When we started, it hit the stop losses. So such type of learnings, if we keep a note or journal, then we
Yeah.
know that after 1 or 2 weeks we might have made all the mistakes. Then we won't, if we don't repeat the same mistakes, we will be making profits.
Agree. Agree. The thing is, now you're given a good three options, three sessions. We put a three sessions. We go to the like offices, right? So we put a three sessions and we'll go to office. So the changing the time, no, I know you most of the time you really alerts us that we like it actually because we don't look at the chart and change the timing. So the UL alert, I know you watch us or your team watches and giving alert that we like it, so that we'll change it. Hey, we got
Right.
now we have to change it 3 minutes or 5 minutes. That's where we help us because everyone cannot be in front of the computer to look at the chart and change it. So always we expect you to know that's a bad or not, I know, but we are not expecting everything, but we are expecting especially this one time change or major things, right? We expect you to message from you so that we can change it. Otherwise, we can, if you say that hey we have to watch and change it, that's like a again like a in front of a computer for always.
No, we don't need to be in front of the system always, but
Mm,
before the power hour, if you can see,
yeah,
right, whether there is
yeah.
already a big move completed or whether it is just moving up and down, uh, then that will give us, right?
Yeah, that I agree. Yeah, that part we can try to do it, but I think especially changing in between, yeah, a little bit until unless you send a message, we'll be alert. That's
Right,
I
right.
know it's a responsibility for you, but yeah, that's helps us all of us. Like out of 200 members, one person is watching and sending is better than the instead of 200 members sitting and
Yeah,
trying to
but
change.
again,
Yeah,
right, it might become like an alert service or it might become like, but once you start learning, once you explore, then yeah, you can make a lot more in the long term. You don't need to
yeah,
wait for somebody to alert or yeah. But again, yeah,
yeah,
we'll be right whenever we are watching. I'll right on the day
yeah,
I saw that NQs were looking very bearish. Immediately, I alerted everyone. If you are before the system, please enable it until 8:30. So 7:30 to 8:30 itself, we made the targets for the day.
yeah, yeah. That I
QES,
agree.
RTY, YM, everything went down.
Yeah, yeah, that I agree with you. I think that diet was good.
Right. So here now it took a sell. If it goes down, our target might be done. $300 target
To
might be
today,
done
it's
in next 10
yeah,
minutes.
agree.
So if we can, yeah, put right, we all want to make a lot of money, but if we are happy with that $300 per day, then next 10 days we have $3,000.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
that's
yeah, if we if we
that's
continue
great
to keep
actually.
going for more and more, it will take away everything back.
Everything, yeah. The all 3,000 will take it within a few
Right,
minutes. Yeah,
one big drop, it will take all the 300, 400, whatever it gave. So now we may see that it will come down all the way.
it went up. Yeah, I think I missed out the one of the starting point. The you did not activated that 300 300 in the Excel sheet you mentioned, right? You shown there you did not put this stop loss. Sorry, how much is the max profit and all those things, or like a max loss, how much you have to put it. These example you said profit we know, profit target we know because you mentioned Excel sheet. What is the loss, how much you have to put it? Like 800 you said for NQ example. Is that the
Right,
Excel sheet you are sharing or you already shared in the
right. I'll put it in the Google Drive. But again, I want everyone to right
Mhm.
use as I mentioned for ES and everything, use 1:1.
Okay, yes, what is to one? Okay,
Yeah,
other things, okay,
for
except NQ.
NQ, use 2:1 risk reward.
Hmm.
Yeah. So any other questions? Again, I don't want it to be. So in data series, we are not basically right. If you go to data series, you have same thing. Hikanashi 2 minute. We are loading 3 days of data. Just right, and then yeah, just break it end of the day. If you don't want it, you can disable it. Otherwise, it will stop the algo at 11:59 central. Everything else is default. So yeah, we may see a 5 to 10 point drop now. The 10 point is already you made your $200 for the day. Now, the total profit and loss will not reset if you disable and enable the strategy. It will look for the entire day, whatever how much it made for the day. Based on that, it will calculate. Right. If you want, you can change the values, but again, we will be getting into the same problem. Yeah, for the fund we want to start. You're right. I started using it on small positions, and yeah, as we it is working good. We want to start, right. I want to share with all the fund members, and then we want to use it on a big scale. It will definitely give a nice gains with a proper discipline. Yes, Telegram alerts also, right, in the channel, right, because as some members were asking, again, we don't want that to have, right, as a practice, but just to help some members, we'll be also posting some alerts in the premium group, in the premium automation group. So they can also take in their personal accounts, or they can also add, right, if they see that there is an alert, they can immediately, yeah, take. So from tomorrow, we'll try to start doing that. Right, our algos will send the alerts. So whenever there is a sell, you will receive an alert in the channel saying like, okay, NQ sell at 15415. Now it is already 5 6 points down, which is nearly, right. If you go here, you already made a $9,500, $110. You may complete your $200 profit. So yeah, I think, yeah, if we just follow it, yeah, for PA accounts, always better to start with micros rather than minis. And once you make some from 50K, you go to 55, 56 like that, then your stop loss will be logged at 50,100. Then you can take more risk. But initially, you don't need to go with minis in the initial days. If you want to enable the volume, you can go here, go to indicators, and then you have something called as volume up down. Just say apply. Okay. Um, yeah, still the volume is very low, right? Compared to relative volume, it is still low. That's why, right? Generally, this is not the time we enable NQ, even though there is a good move, but overall volume is low for time being. Mm, 50K is preferred rather than 25K. 50K has little more, right? You have more bandwidth for stop loss. 25K is very small, so with NQ, with one move, it can very easily hit. Right? Hope everyone, right? It is clear. These values are mandatory. Session timings are not mandatory. If you want to, don't select anything. You don't need to select. But we suggest select minimum 1 or 2 time frames, so the trades will happen only when there is volume, when there is a power hour, right? That is where most of the traders will be active. They won't be trading across the day. They will only trade during the open, or they will trade during the close. And but these values are mandatory. The profit, max profit per day, max loss per day. Everything else is same. There is no other change. And once you are happy, then we'll also give spectrum also with the same logic. So either with Prism or Spectrum, you can continuously make profits. Right? If you have smaller targets, you will be right. You will have consistency. You will have a proper trade plan, and you will achieve right minimum $2,000 to $3,000 profit per month. Right? You can achieve per week also, but even if you make $2,000 to $3,000 per month also, it is good. So start with small targets. Once you achieve it, then slowly increase. Then you will be right. You will be getting more confidence, more knowledge. Otherwise, if we hurry up, we will be making more mistakes. We think like, oh, it is not working, bots are not working, or this is not working for me, or that is not working. Right? We'll unnecessarily quit without exploring it properly or without understanding where the issue is. Uh, yeah, that's it. Thanks everyone. Good night. Also import the latest bot and just try with smaller targets, right? Like 200 per day, 300 per day, and just use during the timings where we can expect a good volume, right? GCCL, they also work very good during the times which we gave. And we'll be giving for more tickers, right? We don't want to confuse, or we don't want everyone to go big bang. Slowly start, make some profits, and then we can explore, or we can share more inputs, more information on other tickets and other yeah. Thanks everyone. Good night. I don't want to, I know a lot of meetings are going beyond 1 hour. Don't if we keep both Prism V4 and V5 on use on two different accounts, better, right? It will conflict. So better don't have two different versions. Either use V4 or use V5. And also some of the users are trying to put Prism and Spectrum on the same account, right? Don't try to put Prism and the Spectrum on NQ on the same account. Prism might take a long and the Spectrum might take a short. So if you are using two different strategies, they must be on two different accounts, not on the same account. Yeah, congrats, Lakshmipati. Already you reached your $300 target for NQ. You made 315 during the session. Nice. Right. Yeah, I'll share the right for 100K account. You can, yeah, for EA you can go with two contracts. Right. It is nearly, yeah, we reached the target for the day. Nearly 10 points down. $200 profit is done. So it will disable the bot once it sees a buy signal, because we kept the target as $200. It will basically disable the bot for the day. No, but right. Based on this volume, we cannot right. We cannot determine two or three. But generally, if you are using the power hours which we suggested, that will right. If you have an event, if you have some major news, always go with 3 minutes or 5 minutes. If it is a normal day before some major event, always go with 2 minutes Iconation. No, even if you take multiple contracts, it will only look at the target profit for the day. Right, that is the target profit you want to reach on the day, whether with one contract or two contracts. It will see that, okay, once with two contracts you reach the 300 or 400, it will disable the bot. Yeah, thanks everyone. Good night, and talk to you tomorrow if possible. I'll do one more live session, and we can, right, we can use this strategy and see like how we can easily, first 15 minutes we'll be done with our targets. We don't need to sit before the system for hours together. First 15 to 20 minutes we'll complete all that $1,000 target. Good night everyone. Thank you.